Thanks for stopping by our website. I wanted to talk to you about our brand new personal injury calculator. So we created the personal injury calculator so people could figure out in a range what their case is worth. Now, of course, there's no better way to determine what your case is worth than speaking to an attorney. So if you want to know really a much more detailed explanation, then certainly give us a call at 888-ROB-WINS. And one of the attorneys can talk to you, and we can certainly go through your case. We would look at your medical records. We'd really figure out a true value based on the real numbers and what you tell us as to your story. But if you wanted to take your numbers and plug it into our calculator, it's going to ask you about your lost wages. It's going to ask you about your medical bills. It's going to ask you for your total period of disability. So if you're employed and your doctor took you out of work, that's a period of total disability. If you're unemployed and your doctor wrote in your medical records that you're totally disabled, that's also the same as if you were employed and taken out of work. Then you'd have your second period of time, which is your partial disability. And total and partial disability is used to calculate our pain and suffering value. So based on how many weeks you had pain and suffering, we're going to use those numbers to calculate it. And this is also based on the type of injuries that you have. So the calculator is going to ask, did you have a soft tissue injury? It's going to ask whether or not you had fractures or herniated discs, or if you have a catastrophic injury. And so based on your classification of injury, how long you were injured for and suffering, how long your doctor was treating you, plus the medical bills, plus the lost wages, we're starting to calculate that value of your case. Then we're going to look at your incidentals, any out-of-pocket costs that you had. We're going to look at any residuals, your future costs. Did the doctor say you're going to need treatment into the future? Will you need injections, something like that, or maybe even surgery in the future? We're going to talk about scarring. So it's going to ask you the size of the scar and the location of the scar. And then finally, and hopefully this isn't in your case, it's going to talk to you about whether or not you have a permanent injury. Permanent meaning you've reached what we call MMI. That stands for maximum medical improvement. So the doctor says to you, you are done treating and you're as good as you're going to get. But if you're less than 100%, you're not back to your baseline, you haven't returned to your status you were pre-injury, pre-accident, then you have a permanent condition that's going to last the rest of your life. So we calculate a range of what your permanent injury is worth based on the percentage of loss of use the doctor gave you and your age. The federal life tables say that someone has basically 78 years to live. So we take what your age is, subtract it from 78, and then we use your injuries, which is rated by your loss of use that the doctor gave you, and then we add all of that together and we give you a range, right? Low to high based on what we think your case is going to be worth. And of course, this is without having talked to you, without truly understanding your condition, without reviewing your medical records. But if you want to get a range on your own, and you can do it on our calculator, we don't ask for your personal information. It's free to use. Just put your information in. You can play with the numbers and see what it's like. But if you want to speak to an attorney and get a real number, right, then give us a call. Because remember, there's no attorney-client relationship built by just playing with the calculator. There's no legal advice given because you'd have to talk to an attorney to have legal advice. This is just for you to get an idea of the range of what it's worth. Now, if you look at other law firms' calculators, almost every calculator I've looked at is kind of a joke. It uses some number that you plug in, maybe your property damage, and a multiplier of what your pain is. You tell it, I'm on a scale of 1 to 5. That is not how we value cases. We value cases based on everything I said to you, right? Lost wages, medical bills, pain and suffering, scarring, permanency, incidentals, and residuals. All of that is how we value a case. And we built this for you. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy using our calculator. Have a great day.